Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What do you do if you look out of your window at the apartment opposite of yours and see a man sitting in a chair facing the window? The next day, you look out of the window again and see the same man sitting in the same chair in exactly the same position. What do? Do you go across to the apartment one block over and check it out for yourself? What if the building superintendent checks with the two elderly women living in that apartment only to find there is no man in that apartment? You return to your own apartment only to look out of your window and find that the same man is still sitting in the chair in exactly the same position. What could you do? Tonight's mystery, That Thing in the Window, deals with exactly this situation. It's 1946, New York City, and our tale tonight is well calculated to keep you in suspense.
Mary, turn that vacuum off for a minute and come over here, will you? I want to show you something.
Yes, sir.
Right here, out this window. Now look across the street, directly across. See the opposite apartment. See that window? About 3 windows in from the left, with the kind of blue draperies.
Uh-huh.
There's someone sitting there in a chair. He hasn't moved all night. I think he must be dead.
Oh, no, Mr. Ames.
Take a look at him and tell me what you think.
Okay, but I don't like looking at a corpse, Mr. Ames. It's unlucky. Now, which window did you say? Third one over? I wish I had my glasses with me.
There, right there, where my finger's pointing.
I'm afraid I don't see it yet, Mr. Ames.
Oh, look, the window with the blue draperies. He's wearing a sort of gray suit. You see the arm hanging over the side of the chair?
No, sir, but you've got good eyes, Mr. Ames. If you see it, I'm not arguing with you. Now, what are you going to do about it?
I don't know. I only begun to notice it last night. I guess I first have to be sure the man is really dead.
That's right, sir. You don't want to get yourself into any trouble. Maybe he's only sleeping.
Maybe. I'll go over and talk to the superintendent of that building.
That sounds like a good idea, Mr. Ames.
Yes?
I'm Martin Ames. Are you the superintendent of this apartment house?
That's what it says on the door.
I've come to inquire about one of your tenants.
Yeah? What is it? What do you want to know?
I live across the street. Well, I'll be frank with you. I've been looking out my window across this building now for 2.5 days, and there seems to be someone dead in one of the windows.
What? Which window?
It's the 10th floor. I counted from the street, and it's 10 stories up. There's a window with blue draperies, about 3 windows in from the left, facing toward me, that is, and there's a man sitting there slumped down in a chair.
Just a minute. I'll get out my chart. 10th floor up from the street, eh? Well, it's really the 9th floor. The lobby counts as one. We got 2 apartments along the front of the house. It's in the front, you say?
That's right.
Huh. Now 3 windows in from the left. That'll be apartment 9B, a 4-room apartment. Nah, that couldn't be right. 9B is 2 ladies. You said this was a man.
Yes. The face isn't clearly visible. The head's slumped forward. He's wearing a gray suit, and he's sitting in a high-wing back chair.
I can't place him.
Well, maybe he doesn't belong in the house. Maybe he was visiting someone. Like I said, this is all conjecture, of course. He may not be dead, but I've watched him a good deal. I'm home a lot in the daytime. My profession, the stage, doesn't take up too much of my time. It looks quite suspicious.
Okay, I'll check on it.
Mind if I stick around?
Oh no, have a seat. I'll give 9B a ring first on the house phone.
Hello?
Miss Landis?
Yes, this is Elaine Landis. Who is this?
This is the superintendent, Hanson. Is everything all right up there, Miss Landis?
Everything all right? Why, yes, of course.
Okay, sorry to trouble you. Thanks very much.
No trouble at all. Goodbye.
Well, that's that. Nothing going on in apartment 9B. 9A is on vacation in the country, and if I've got the window straight, like you said, it ought to be 9B.
The single ladies?
Yeah, only it couldn't be them. They're elderly ladies. They've been living in the apartment for years. Really old-fashioned type, you know? If they thought there was a man in their apartment, the two of them would have just jumped right out of their skin.
I don't know what to say. You sure it must be that apartment?
Oh, yeah. That's the place, all right. But you probably just made a little mistake. You know how your eyes can play tricks on you. After all, it is a pretty wide street.
I don't think I made any mistake.
Hanson speaking.
Hello? This is Mr. Ames.
Again? I told you before, it's not there. I checked up on the two apartments this morning. 9A is back from the country. Everybody's okay. And 9B is out walking the dog. No dead bodies in the whole place.
I can see it. It's still there.
Okay, just where? Will you tell me where?
In the same window. The one you said was 9B. Have you gone inside apartment 9B?
No, but I asked them if anybody was sick or dead, and they said no.
You asked them? Why didn't you just search their apartment?
What do you mean? Break in while they're out?
No, search it while they're there. Ring the bell, walk in, and do it.
Not without a search warrant from the police. These apartments don't belong to me. I just take care of the building for the company.
Then let's call the police.
Oh no, not me, mister. I didn't see a dead body up there.
Then I will. After all, somebody's got to do something.
I still maintain, officer, that these two sisters are as refined ladies as you can find anywhere. High class, nice church-going ladies. They used to teach school up the street.
Well, that doesn't mean anything.
As it happens, there's a play on Broadway right now in which two nice old ladies commit murder after murder. It's called Arsenic and Old Lace.
They have a dog in there. Now will you tell me one dog that would stay for almost a week in an apartment with a dead person?
I'm not telling you anything. All I know is this gentleman, Mr. Ames, reported a dead body over here. And if he says there's one, there is until it's proved different. Right, Mr. Ames?
Well, I keep seeing the thing day in and day out. I'm not working at the moment and being home so much.
Right this way, please. I hope they're home.
If they aren't home, you've got a passkey, haven't you?
Oh yeah, but we're not supposed to use that unless it's for an emergency.
This is an emergency.
Here we are, apartment 9B.
The dog bite?
Sometimes.
Down, Buster. Get down. Now. Yes, who is it?
We're awfully sorry, Miss Landis, but there's been some kind of mix-up. These two gentlemen want to look over your apartment.
Why? It's not for rent.
Oh, I know. It's just that they want to search around and check.
Miss Landis, this is Sergeant Lee. A dead body's been reported sitting in one of your windows. What? Yeah, this guy lives across the street. He's been seeing it for over a week. Now open up, please.
A dead body, but that's impossible. My sister and I live here all alone.
Yeah, we know all about it.
Excuse me a minute. I'll call my sister. Vivian!
Oh, come on.
It's the police!
I'm not standing out here all day. You can give me a passkey.
It won't do any good. They have a chain on the door from the inside.
Open up in the name of the law.
How do you do? I'm Vivian Landis. May I ask you what this is all about?
I have a search warrant made out by this gentleman who said to search your apartment. He said you have a dead body in there.
A dead body? Why, that's perfectly ridiculous.
It is, but it's been reported.
May I ask how this peeping Tom see into our apartment?
Well, you see,
He lives across the street on the same level.
I just happened to be.
Oh, well, then we should have to keep our shades down in the future. Although one would think a grown man would have something better to do. Come right in. Make yourselves right at home.
Thanks.
Is he coming in here too, Mr. Busybody?
No, he doesn't have to if you don't want him.
Well, I most definitely don't.
Okay, Mr. Ames, you better stay outside.
Officer, I was.
Oh, does he want to poke around in our private rooms so he can break in someday to rob us?
Okay, he's not coming in. Now let's take a look at your window. Thank you, ladies. I'm sorry for the intrusion. Have a nice day. Hey, Ames, what's the big idea?
You didn't find it?
No,
That's very strange.
the only thing strange here is your eyesight. You should get your glasses checked.
There wasn't anything in 9B?
No.
I don't understand it. How could I have seen it so distinctly and yet it's not there? Perhaps it isn't in the window now. Perhaps they hid it while we were waiting outside the door.
Hit it? Now where do you hide a dead body in a 4-room apartment? I looked in all the clothes closets and under the sofas and the chairs.
Maybe they got it out back into the service elevator.
Single-handed? With all the garbage cans and laundry going up and down?
Perhaps they had accomplices. Oh, you probably think, perhaps it's already being destroyed.
Well, then if it's gone, you have nothing more to worry about.
But I hope it is. I tell you, I haven't slept for nights keeping vigil. I'm in a nervous state. I haven't been this nervous in years.
I see that. Look, why not you try forgetting about it? Try not to look over in the window or go away. You've done what you could, Mr. Ames. If there really is a dead man over there, then it's my business now.
You mean, you think I may be.
I'm not saying anything, Mr. Ames, but if I were you, I'd try catching up on my night's sleep.
Hello?
Miss Landis? I'm sorry to disturb you this time of night, but I'm desperate. I haven't anywhere else to turn.
What? Who is this?
This is Mr. Ames, Martin Ames, your neighbor, the one across the street. I was in your apartment yesterday morning with the police, or rather, I was almost inside your apartment. Your sister wouldn't let me in. Now, please don't think of me as a pest. I don't mean to annoy you. It was only because I was so desperate that I initiated that search.
It's quite all right. Goodbye.
No, please don't hang up, because it's worse now than it ever was. I've been sitting here opposite of your apartment, staring into your window, and I'm only asking you to help me, Miss Landis. Help me just a little.
Help you?
It's still there.
What's still
The
there?
dead body in your window.
Oh my, there isn't. How dare you? When the police are.
I know. Now, it doesn't have anything to do with you. Would you just do me one more favor? Would you go into your living room and just check once more?
I won't. I'll do nothing of that kind. You're out of your mind.
Perhaps I am. That's what I'm trying to find out. Then perhaps your sister, Vivian, would help me?
He's not home.
Oh, no?
At any rate, I don't see how you can see in. I've pulled the shades down in there yesterday morning.
I know. They're all down still.
And how can you see?
I can't. At least, not the actual body. It's just a silhouette. I'm not belying you are her sister. It's just, if someone's dead in there, It's not you who are doing it. Think of me and the toll it's taking on my nerves.
What?
If you could just be here and look over there and see the shadow of those quiet fingers, that shoulder, that head.
Oh, please. Stop it, stop it, stop it. It isn't, it's not here. It isn't.
Just tell me one thing, Miss Landis. There is a chair by that window, though, isn't there?
Yes, there's a chair.
Oh, a high-backed wing chair?
Uh-huh.
And have you anything on it? Anything piled up? I mean, like curtains, cushions, a dressmaker's dummy, or
Of course not.
do you have a plant in the window in front of it? Some kind of odd table? Anything that would cast a shadow, like a man's head slumped forward or an arm hanging limp.
No, there's nothing. Nothing but the chair.
Then will you do me just one more favor? Please, as an experiment, would you just go into the living room and move that chair from the window? Please?
If I do it, will you stop pestering us?
Yes.
Would you leave us alone forever?
Yes, if it works.
If it works, what do you mean? Do you mean?
I can't tell you until you move the chair.
Oh, all right. Hello?
Yes?
I moved it away from the window. It's at the other end of the room, and it's empty.
Oh, I see. Well, thanks very much. I know what I have to do now.
You mean?
Yes, it's still there. Miss Landis.
Where is it? I want to see it at once.
Oh, yes. Come in. I hope you'll excuse my appearance. I just passed another sleepless night.
So has my sister, and so have I. What do you mean by this business, Mr. Ames? You have frightened my sister half to death, seeing things that aren't there when you know they are not.
I know they're not. Oh, I wish they weren't. I wish to heaven I never looked out that window. I wish those walls were solid stone. And your walls, oh.
You are a sick man, Mr. Ames.
Oh, I am? I wish I were. But I'm perfectly sane and well. I went to the psychiatrist yesterday, and guess what he told me? That there's nothing wrong with me. Nothing.
I can't believe that.
I suppose it's a form of madness to persist and persist in this hideous image. But not me, Miss Landis. No. I've finally come to an entirely different conclusion.
And what is that?
The supernatural.
The supernatural? A ghost? What nonsense, Mr. Ames.
Yes, I suppose it is nonsense to you.
Yes.
You've been a school teacher. You believe in logic, common sense, the things that give up the pretense of solidity in this frail life of ours. But I have eyes. I've always had a feeling for the hidden beyond, the intangible, the shadowy. We are children, Miss Landis, children playing along the edge of the ocean. We laugh and toy with the waves and mock fright. But sometimes one of us slips down into darkness. Sometimes the depths rise, and we glimpse the yearning things of the eternal.
You put things rather oddly, Mr. Ames. Just exactly what do you mean?
Simply this. I checked on the history of that building, along with the real estate agent, and there was a murder there.
In our apartment?
Oh, the report doesn't say. You know how they try to hush those things up. It was a young man, the boyfriend of one of the tenants, a Miss Sweetser.
Sweetser? Why, that's the name of the people who lived before us. How awful.
A rather ghastly coincidence, isn't it? I've been told that the boyfriend comes back to haunt the apartment and sit in the chair he was murdered in.
Excuse me, Mr. Ames. I'd rather not hear. I still can't believe that if there could possibly be something, why haven't we seen it too? Why should you?
Haven't you seen it?
No.
Are you sure? Never. Perhaps in the middle of the night, getting up and passing that room, seeing that chair outlined against the window, just in passing, perhaps. You've never had a glimpse.
No, I really must be going.
No. Please, stay and look at it. I want you to see it out of my window.
No, my sister, she's very nervous. I can't leave her so long alone.
It'll only take a minute, really. It'll only take a minute. It's right in here. Oh, Miss Landis, don't go. Look.
Hello? Hello, Sergeant. This is Ames, Martin Ames. I just called to let you know, I think you're right about that good night's sleep. Yes, I'm going away tomorrow for a long rest, shutting out my apartment. I'm all tied up in knots. I don't know what to think. Oh, they did? Yes, I saw the moving van in front of the house, but I didn't know it was the Landis sisters. Couldn't take it, huh? Well, I can't take it much longer myself.
Whoa, Martin. Bravo, old boy.
Not so loud.
Wild mystery.
Superintendent Hanson doesn't like me.
You think Hanson wouldn't like you grabbing this beautiful apartment right from under her nose? She probably had it promised to a friend.
But you've got it now, Ronald. Just as I said.
So I have. Thanks to you. It's beautiful. Marty, you've outdone yourself. You've been more than generous.
Think nothing of it. I was glad to do it for such a distinguished colleague.
I wish I could do something in return. I really do. Perhaps this play I'm doing next week. You know, there's a part in it you could have. A rather small part, but very necessary.
Well, thanks just the same. But I'm doing pretty well just now.
I don't know how you found it, Martin. I mean, in this housing shortage. No, even the superintendent didn't even know it was for rent. When your call came to the manager, I left rehearsal right away. I wouldn't trust it to anyone but myself. I left the whole cast just standing there. When I came over and asked Hanson about it, and she said nothing about it. I insisted, of course. I told her who I was, and finally she pulled the file. I'm sure enough these two Landis sisters who lived here just decided to move out.
I hope you didn't mention my name. You know, if Hanson knew that I tipped you off, she'd be...
No, you asked me not to anyway. I think my own name was enough. Seriously, Marty, how did you know? Were they friends of yours?
Oh no, it's all a long story. Come, let's sit down, shall we? In the living room. Oh, no. You take the chair. Guess they must have left that when they moved out.
Oh, thank you.
Well, to be frank, Ronald, I got this apartment by a ruse.
A ruse? What kind of ruse?
Oh, a pretty nasty one, actually. I frightened the last tenants away. I told them I saw a dead man sitting here in this window.
No, not really. How clever of you. Of course there was one.
You see, I live across the street, directly across, in that apartment there with the French curtains. One night, just sitting there late, I got an amusing thought. There's a kind of shadow in this chair, the one you're sitting in. It reminded me a little bit of a corpse. And it came to me that it might be fun to create a great paw, a character, a corpse that wasn't there.
Oh, I don't follow you.
Some actors need a play, Ronald, to create a character. Others, the great ones, work out their own dramas. I decided to invent a part for myself. I was the eyewitness, the innocent bystander across the street who saw a corpse in here. And I kept seeing it and kept seeing it. And finally, by the power of suggestion, it became real enough to frighten them away.
Very clever. Wasn't it rather drastic?
I always hoped we'd be neighbors, Ronald. As a matter of fact, the whole idea for this thing came to me that day in October when you turned me down for that part outside of Sardi's. Don't you remember? You said you were looking for a place then. Oh, yes. It was then I thought of how nice it would be to see you right across the street, sitting in this window. I simply had to bring it about.
Well,
Oh, no, Ronald. Don't get up yet. I'm not through.
Really, I think the cast is waiting for me. They don't even know I'm here.
They'll wait. People always wait for you, don't they, Ronald? I could call them, free of course, but the phone's been disconnected.
Well, I'm afraid that which way to the door? No, really, Marty, it's been very kind of
Don't you like the apartment? Aren't you going to take it after all my work?
Yes, I like it very much. The door's locked.
Yes, Ronald.
Please,
I'm afraid you'll have to find your way out, alone.
please, no. Oh, no, please, why, please. Marty.
There. That'll keep you quiet. Silence always became you better than all that ranting and glibness and charm, Ronald. Now I've got the part for you. A part to end all parts, entirely in a chair. There's not much action. Now line for you. Just sit. Just sit in this chair by the window. Here. It'll be the greatest performance of your career. You like to hog all the fattest roles for yourself, didn't you? Well, this is a part that's been talked about up and down this street for weeks. You'll play the part of a ghost, a corpse that never was, a hallucination in my brain. And who will be your audience? I will. I, the insignificant, outmoded ham who wasn't fit to appear in your precious plays, but good enough to put you here, Ronald. Who's the better actor now, Ronald? Goodbye, Ronald. See you across the street.